Alright, so I got my beam cannon to level 8 now, and it's about half as strong as the blaster by now. If we look at the strength, it's 36, and the blaster is at 59. So yeah, that's more than half the strength of the blaster, and we can't have that of course, so that's why I'm upgrading the blaster. I also got the ice wall to level 2 finally. And that's because I noticed that the ice wall is starting to not hold out as well anymore. I'm starting to get situations where the ice wall would drop before the protector even finishes installing. And sometimes I also get situations where I have to use more than one ice wall on one node just to defend it. So it's starting to become a bit ineffective. That's why I upgraded it to level 2. Now I don't really like upgrading the ice wall, mainly because the price increase is extremely high. Just going from level 2 to level 3 is going to add 15 to it. And it might not seem like much, but for something as vital as the ice wall, which pretty much gets spammed on most of the nodes, and I currently carry 8 of, that's actually a pretty high price increase, which I don't really like. So that's why I'm holding off on upgrading the ice wall as much as possible until when absolutely necessary, like when the ice wall just doesn't last long enough for the protector to go on anymore. I also been upgrading the access program, and the thing here is that as good as stealth attacks are, I don't like using them. And the reason is, it takes so long to compile. If we take a look at the race, it takes 15 minutes to compile. Whereas if we just use a standard set, like the protector, it's only 5 minutes. And even with the shocker, it's still pretty long, so I don't use too much of that either. So it's not so much the program space, because I actually have a lot of space right now, I have 90, but it's the compile time that really holds me back. So that's why I use the blaster instead of the battering ram, and I just use a standard set with a lot of beam cannons. Now the reason I'm doing that is because right now, the majority of my income comes from hacking. If we take a look, I have basically a level 5 Bitcoin mine and a level 6 server farm, and that's it. That's my entire farming income. But yet I have so much money and Bitcoin, and that's basically because I keep hacking players who are, well, I guess several times higher level than me, or just really rich farmers. For example, look at some of these hacks I did. 100k, 95k, 5k Bitcoins, 3k Bitcoins. And even if they are slightly higher level than me, because of my constant upgrading of my programs, I can take down their defenses pretty easily either way. And the thing is, a lot of these people who are focused mainly on farming actually have pretty low base defense in comparison as well. So if we look at this guy's turrets, I think that's maybe level 5 at most. And his Black Ice isn't too high level either, his Guardian isn't too high level, neither is his Scanner. And his Sentry is actually also pretty low level. It's probably also level 5, I think. And here I use the Shocker, and that's pretty much the only use case for the Shocker I found so far, is to just speed up the hacking when I'm trying to break out of a code gate choke. Because right now the Shocker is only 4 seconds, which is long enough to put on the protector, but at the same time it's not really worth it to use it just to put on the protector, I find, because it's, like I said, it takes 6 minutes to compile, and I just don't really like that. I want the programs to compile as fast as possible, so I'm really only using it in specific use cases, like right there, just to speed up things, as opposed to using it to replace the ice wall. Because I still would prefer to use the ice wall when I can, since the ice wall is much faster to compile. So that's why so I think I'm repeating myself here, but I don't want to use the blaster as a replacement for an ice wall. I want to use them more to enhance what I can already do with the ice wall. And the whole point of this is to speed up my compile time. So right now, I can pretty much do a hack every 20 minutes or so. Whereas if I were to compile much longer programs, like a lot of shockers or a lot of stealth programs, then that will raise my compile time to 30 or even 40 minutes, which would actually greatly reduce my income, even though it may or may not make my hacking process easier. But like they say, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right? So as good as the Wraith is in hacking, and it makes it significantly easier, I want to say, I don't like relying on it simply because of the compile time. So my current use case for the Wraith is mainly to attack players who are significantly higher level than me, like this guy, who is a level 32, whereas I am level 24. So that makes him 8 levels higher than me, and that's why I went with the Wraith, just to make the whole process easier, because his Sentry looked like it was pretty high level, and his Black Ice and Turret looked about the same as my level too. So I didn't want to risk it, and I just wanted to speed the whole process up. And in doing so, I can pretty much rely on my level 2 Ice Wall and level 2 Protector, which means I don't have to worry about upgrading my Ice Wall and my Protector even against much higher level player, because as you can see, the antivirus really constitutes a significant portion of the damage per second, and with the antivirus eliminated by the Wraith, all I needed was the one Protector and the Ice Wall to put it up. And this part was pretty easy, considering how he is a level 32, and I am level 24. And of course the level 8 beam cannon probably helped quite a bit too. So upgrading my Access program and Wraith is going to increase the price a lot, so that's going to deter me even more from relying on it as a primary means of hacking. But I think that's okay, because I don't want to use it as a primary method of hacking anyway, so even though the cost is going to be significantly higher to the point where it's not really useful as a primary means of hacking, it's actually exactly what I want, because I want to reserve it for special cases like this, where I'm going against much higher level player. And with a much higher stealth program, like the high level access and the high level Wraith, it's actually much better, because the high level players tend to also have higher level scanner. So it actually all works out in the end. And because of that, I can afford to just go ahead and put three of my nodes, 3 security nodes on upgrade all at the same time, and I still keep my money. Even though this guy, Abihi, attacked me earlier, and he basically took everything, he still did end up using 11 Ice Walls and the Kraken. But that was pretty expected, because he attacked me while I had all 3 nodes on upgrade. And in fact, I'm even going to put another node on upgrade right now, and I'm probably going to do the program library, because that seems to be the closest one that I can get right now, since I am almost at 30k Bitcoins, and I need that many to upgrade the program library. So I am actually going to retrace him right now and attack his network. So he came in strong, but he looks like a farmer, actually. So I'm not expecting this to be too difficult. I'm going to throw down the blaster and 2 beam cannons so I can break the code gate. And then, once the code gate is broken, I think what I'm going to do is use the shocker to quickly take down one of the turrets. And after that, I'm just going to Ice Wall all the way through, I think. I don't think I even need a protector here. So, shocker, and 3 turrets immediate, blasters, beam cannons immediately, and then here, go through, here, go through, and then I'm going to put one here, Ice Wall here just to be safe, because it's in range of the Black Ice, and I'm going to put 2 here, because that's all I need to take down a low level turret. And I will put a blaster here, just because it's going to be useful to take down this code gate faster. Since he has 1 Black Ice connected, and the Black Ice is really slow, and this is a code gate, all I need is 3 beam cannons, I don't need to exert more than that. And here, I just pretty much am done. I just go with the beam cannons and just keep hacking and take all his resources. And I guess here I will put in 3, just because there's 2 connected. I'm gonna speed this up a bit. And I'm gonna put in 3 here too, because there's 3 connected. And I want to make sure I get them before the antivirus takes the node down. Actually, he still might get this node, so I might just put an ISO, which is still fine, because I have a minute left. So overall, I don't really like this black ice placement, because it's right in front of the code gate, and the code gate is pretty strong, such that the black ice can't just take it down by itself. And the black ice is also really slow, so if I just load up on 3 turrets, it just goes down pretty quickly before it even gets a few shots in. This here is okay, but again, a code gate's not really a good candidate for a choke point because it's just tanky enough, so I just put down the shocker and went with 3 beam cannons, and I took down both before it was able to reclaim it. This here and this here, I'm not really sure what it's trying to do. It seems like a bit of a choke point, but it's also a bit isn't. This is a kind of a good choke point, whether it's intentional or not. But aside from that, I think my playstyle of leveling up the programs really fast is definitely paying off here, because my programs do seem to be pretty high compared to the defenses of people I'm hacking, at least. So I used mostly beam cannons and blasters here, so I just need to refill that, and I still have enough, so I'm going to upgrade the program library, because why not? Having a program library, it never hurts, even though I do have enough. So what I could actually do with the extra space is to either get more isols in preparation of more challenging networks, or I might actually get some shurikens, because the shuriken is actually really good for choke points like these, where the core is on the side. A beam can be forced to target the core, but the shurikens can actually break ahead and move onwards. And that's pretty much the only use case of the shurikens I can think of right now. So I'll have to think about whether I actually want to get the shurikens or not. But that's all for this time. So thank you, and see you next time.